note writing session that apparently did not go so well. Okay, so the area of oblique triangle, we haven't used the word oblique triangle much before. It basically means a non-right triangle. So
it also means like the side of his abs.
right, yeah. Like also, that's what I think about it. I'm doing like
This is not curl
yeah, right. I talk about triangles and he talks about abs. Okay, what are you guys doing to him?
He lost his spring.
No, they took apart my
They took it off. Stop playing.
Luke, you took apart
I know we did.
She knows I didn't do it. She
Yeah.
just,
Luke's a bully.
Yeah.
She's just
You heard
worried
him
so
say
much
it.
she saw.
yeah.
Luke's a bully.
All right. So the reason we need to do this is there's many times that they're not going to give you the base and height of a triangle. And so we have to talk about what to do with our triangle then if we don't have that information. So if they give you the base and height, obviously I would just use base times height divided by 2. If they don't give you the base and height, this is where we're going to use this new formula. So oops, I think it's sine, sorry. I just
What's A?
Area.
we'll talk about
No,
that.
it's B.
Wow.
Is that a big C?
Big C.
Area. Equals.
Okay.
It's
All right. So let's talk about what these things are. We should know what all of them stand for. Yes, that should be a capital C. That's a little b, a little a. So when we talk about this, that means we hopefully know angle C. So maybe I'll use this as our example. And where would A and B, little a and b be then from angle C? Yeah, they'd be those sides. Because they're always the lowercase letters across from the angles we know. So if they gave us this information, they didn't give us the base and height. But if they gave us this amount of information, we'd be able to figure out that we could use this formula to figure out the area then. Again, it could look something like this. So just understanding it's the two sides around that angle. So again, it's kind of a side angle side situation that we're using for this formula.
Does where B and A go in like the equation matter?
They can be flipped, yeah. It could be A, B, B, A. Right. So they want us to find the area of these triangles. Now, in these cases, these would be really tough, like to figure out the base and height for them. Because we would be able to, because we know law of sines and law of cosines, we'd be able to figure out what this side is. We'd actually probably be able to figure out what that is. Maybe it would take a lot of steps though, but we'd be able to figure out all the information. It just would be a really long process without this formula. So we're kind of thankful for this formula in this case. So this will be our C, and then these are our A and B. It doesn't matter which one you call A, which one you call B. And the reason why we have to use this sign is because that's that opposite side that we're looking for. We're trying to figure out the side that's opposite that, essentially. Really big number? Yeah. And then this would be meters squared, right?
Yep.
So you can try letter B there. side situation in these, so.
So what happens
Yeah.
if you,
So when the test comes, when it's time to do the test, should we know how the
I didn't say.
You have to know both. So you have to, yeah, so you'll just have to realize we don't have the base and height.
Why is it doing this?
Oh, no, I'm saying like, should,
Why do you
do
keep
you
adding
remember
this?
how to
Oh, well, I'll give you some sort of note cards. Esther, do you have a question?
yes,
What?
so what happens if they give you like
So is that true? John,
multiple angles and sides?
Okay, so good question, you guys. If they give you too much information or more information, let's say they give you all the sides and all the angles or multiple sides and multiple angles, we can choose what we use. We just want to use like side angle side for it. So let me just show real quick. So if they gave us, and I don't know if these numbers will make sense, but if they gave me 40 and then they gave me 100 here, and then that would make this, well, I guess I wouldn't like that, but anyway, so if that was 100, if this was 20, and this was 12, and this is 16, and again, I don't know that these numbers make sense, we'd want to use side angle side. So we want to either use these three, or like these three. Does that make sense? So you want to use the angle and then the two sides that are around it.
So it's not like it matters, like if you have multiple options, choose the biggest one or anything?
No. It should work either way. Again, I just made up numbers right now, so don't try this one at home, or like right now. So yeah, like, so just know that we pick the ones that, whatever ones that make sense. They should all work though. So this ends up being, so our area in this case is 1,706.3, right? What you guys got? And then feet squared. Alright, the next one asks us to find the area and perimeter of the triangle. So that might take a little bit more work. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to see if you guys can figure out how to find the area and perimeter. The area should be pretty straightforward. The perimeter might take you back a few sections here, like with some of our law of sines and cosines. So I'm going to warn you guys that the perimeter on example 4 is a little bit tougher.
And you have to use one of the laws.
That isn't the same thing. Did you get like 8?
You guys are gonna have to use one of our laws if you didn't realize already. So either law of sines or cosines. Right.
Yep. Look at that.
I was just gonna say, wait, what's
Yeah. 86.
Yeah, you can't use SOHCAHTOA because it's not a right triangle.
nuts?
This is it, but I'm not sure.
I got it. Maybe.
You brought out the quadratic formula.
Only for part of it. What's the actual?
Oh
thing? I
yeah,
forgot.
it's 2.
2. Negative b.
That's impressive. 1 minus 4 AC. He had part of the quadratic formula in his law of cosines.
This guy.
Yeah.
Only five the left tool. It didn't actually do anything. What goes first?
Owen was special. He combined 2 of these.
Thanks. I was close. That's too hot.
Yeah, I did. And I missed it? Yeah, I do.
Wait, did you skip 34?
It's negative b plus
Yeah,
or minus
Reese is one,
4
Reese
b
is
squared.
stacks
I got it
and
right.
So if you guys look, Owen combined these 2 together.
It's negative b plus the opposite of the J. Opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Very good. We're actually bringing that up in pre-calc again tomorrow, you guys. Exciting. We're bringing up quadratic formula in pre-calc tomorrow. Okay. All right. Are we ready to talk about this?
Wait, no, it's like
No?
20
Okay.
seconds.
I can give you that.
Didn't do it. I'll be back to next.
Give yourself a ball, like, mixed up in the head today. And it still works. It's not so efficient, but
You were upset.
I don't care. I don't
No, it's
Then you lost the rest. Yeah, because I used it. Oh, you serious? That one, right?
Yeah. Put that whole thing in all at once.
Who's time?
My choice.
Yeah.
Luke, take it over. Confiscate it.
Will you have prints out? Not ahead of time, no. I kind of do it day by day. That's fine.
It's like.
I'll have you,
This also seems very good.
now, then you have to take the square root of that cap.
Oh, the square root of
Like,
Okay.
okay. Can I talk? Okay. Oh, okay. Are you done choking? Alright, then I'll wait till that's done. Okay. Are you done almost dying? Okay, good. Alright, so we're doing 1/2. Now notice the C is not our angle we know, so you wouldn't call it C, but we have this side angle side situation here, where these are then our A and B that we're working with. So the area hopefully is not an issue. This will give us our area of our triangle. So 254, does that sound right? 0.8? Yup. Got lots of yups. Okay. trickier because we need to figure out what this other side is over here. Now you try to use law of sines and you don't know any of the opposites that go together, so you can't use law of sines. You can't use SOHCAHTOA because this is not a 90-degree angle. As much as it's really close to being one, it is not. So we have to find this side by law of cosines. Now, law of cosines was not that long ago, so the fact that some of you are like acting like this was like 3 weeks ago, and maybe a lot has happened since then, but we still need to. Oops, I almost forgot the 2 now that we talked about that so much. And we did, we were talking, like, Owen had gotten the 2 formulas mixed up, and really there are so many similarities, just be careful. Anna was asking about like a note card for when we test on this, and yeah, I'll give you guys some sort of, I mean, there's been a lot of formulas we've learned already. Okay? And then we're basically going to do this whole right side over here, and then we get to take the square root of it. So that'll give us our x value, which hopefully should be the longest side of this right triangle, or not non-right triangle, so that it made some sort of sense. Get a very big number here. Then I'm going to take the square root of that. And I got like 33.96, so like essentially 34. And then now I have all 3 sides of my triangle, so I can find my perimeter. So like 81, did you guys get?
Yes.
And that would be 81 inches, right? Alright.
Darn.
Yeah, it just depends what I tell you guys to round to. On here it says 10 for the worksheet, so it didn't say on there. Alright. Questions? Alright. Let me give you guys time to work.
They still call you that, Lucas?